köszöntőjét, és azt, hogy
Thank you very much for your introductory work, and thank you very much for introducing Rotterdam. And I would like to also thank you that you referred to our conference of last year that created some sort of a continuity. And I really hope that the Netherlands will be our partner in our smart city development, with whom we will be able to work very closely together. Now I'm going to invite a very exotic guest. When we were preparing for these colleagues, my colleague heard that we will have a presenter from South Africa, and we will be greeted by the embassy of South Africa. They were all very excited, but still we are very pleased to announce that Chargé d'Affaires ad interim of South Africa, Nkosnathi Sidney Sifuba, will deliver an opening speech.
Thank you, Madam Director. And thank you for your very kind words as well in your intro. Indeed, I am Chargé d'Affaires at the South African Embassy here in Budapest. Just to mention, our new head of mission, the ambassador, arrived just day before yesterday, and he already presented his credentials to the chief of protocol. But if I may proceed, Lord Mayor of the 13th District of the Municipality of Budapest, the Deputy Mayor of the 13th District of the Municipality of Budapest, all excellencies present in this conference, senior experts in their different fields, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to stand on and speak on existing protocol. Well, 10 minutes is a very long time to be allowed to speak on a subject that one is not an expert in. But my understanding was that I was just here to make a welcome sort of short speech. However, it is indeed an honor and privilege to be able to say a few words in the second SMARTX conference from Budapest. I must say, a city of such profound architecture and beauty, a city that is linked by beautiful bridges that are a true reflection of how the global order is and should be interlinked. Especially in these hard times of COVID-19, as we battle a common enemy with a common effect on all of us, requiring a common solution. It is also refreshing for me to note that this conference has drawn an audience from different cities and continents. I am confident that by the end of it, as the theme of the conference goes, what can we learn from the smart city programs of Foreign City? I'm confident, therefore, that participants and the audience will indeed learn from one another. Just like the previous speaker, I need to acknowledge my participants from South Africa. So I cannot help by taking some bragging rights in acknowledging two representatives from my home country and city, Cape Town, which in its own right is a beautiful, world-renowned city. The representation is by Ms. Jill Cullinan and Mr. Paul Hoffman from the Western Cape Economic Development Partnership. What gives me even greater pride is the tag team effort of the two participants from my country in a sense that they are bringing a 50-50 gender representation, or balance if you like. This is in the true spirit of South African government and business in this era that we live in. I hope they will share with you the smart innovation from that city and bring some South African warmth and cheer to this decorum. Speaking about the city of Cape Town, I'd just like to share a short story. It's a true story. 2 years ago, Cape Town faced becoming the first major city in the world to run out of drinkable water as it dealt with serious water scarcity. Between 2015 and 2018, there was a sharp decline in rainfall, which resulted in Cape Town's worst droughts on record. And there was great fear that the city was going to reach day zero, that is zero water. Well, Cape Town never really reached day zero, in part because authorities implemented water restrictions throughout that period. They banned outdoor and non-essential water use, encouraging toilet flushing with grey water, and eventually they limited consumption to about 13 gallons per person in the February of 2018. Now, the positive lesson out of this is that having been threatened by one of the worst ever drought-induced water crises, residents themselves became water wise. They backed up with data and each household's water use. People pulled together, they shared tips on social media on how to save water. And the city of Cape Town worked to get residents and business on board with a host of water-saving initiatives. This is the end of this little true story, but I want to reflect a bit on this because what transpires after this negative phenomena or situation, you might want to say, is that the city dwellers themselves, they developed smarter habits or mannerisms in terms of how to conserve water. And post the drought, and when there was more rainfall and everything was back to normal, because they've developed this, they still carry on developing these smart ways of conserving water. So it is also with the epidemic that we're currently experiencing, these small safety measure protocols, social distancing, washing our hands, wearing of masks, covering our mouth when coughing. These also, when the epidemic passes, I'm sure we will carry some of these small habits on unconsciously. This was also evident in countries that were hard hit by Ebola, where I served before coming here, specifically in Liberia. Come Corona, because of the way that they were behaving around Ebola, they carried on with those mannerisms that they were doing in the time of Ebola. So they were less, hit by the coronavirus. Well, just in closing, I myself, as I said in my opening, not being an expert in this area of smart cities and innovation, I can only wish you all the best in your deliberations as you share smarter innovations. And I hope that the next SMARTX conference will be more socially interactive in terms of live contact and not virtual, as we all strive to put this epidemic behind us. I thank you very much.